Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Awaken the World Quick Talk. You can run all you want, you will still be there. It is 5:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you are here live on the Awaken the World YouTube channel with myself, Garen, and my browser is fuzzy, so we can fix that, and then the comments will actually work. And there we go. So we're pleased to have one of our group members actually here with us today, having coffee, and and that is Sharon. Sharon's here with us, and we'll leave it at that. So today's video is this is something we really need to talk about, okay? And this is about you can run all you want, but there you still are. And I have to tell you, aside from apologizing for the minor difficulties in getting started on time, that I spent a long time running. We all do. We run away from what we think are bad situations where we're not growing or we're not getting what we want. We run towards what we think is going to fulfill us. Sometimes we run away just to get away from ourselves. For me, it was running away from humanity. You see, when I first woke up, I was stunned by the appearance of the ability to sense things from others. And I had never had that ability before. I was a sniper. And the last thing I wanted was the ability to sense something from someone else. Well, of course, that ability grew in magnitude, and I was shocked at the sheer pain and suffering that occurs on our planet. And I ran from humanity. I lived in the jungle, I lived in ashrams, I lived on mountaintops. I stayed in Tibet for as long as possible, Bhutan, Nepal, India. I made the spiritual rounds, as it were, alone, separate from humanity, running. But you know what? I was still there. No matter where you go, you still are. Now, what does this mean in the real sense, and why are we talking about it? Well, we use the idea of escaping as part of our egoic identity. We use it to validate all sorts of behaviors, including but not limited to not being straight up and honest with people, being unwilling to communicate directly from a place of 100% truth and honesty. Now, I know it's difficult. There's a lot of scarred people out there. And you know what? There was a time when I was scarred too. Now, we're not talking about scars, like the one I have on my face here, or the one from being shot, or the one in my belly from being stabbed, or the numerous other ones. We're not talking about scarred in that manner. We're talking about it scarring our perceptions of reality, scarring our viewpoint. And what does the scar do? Well, it's tight tissue. The tissue doesn't flex as easily. It's not quite the same sort of skin. It tends to be inflexible. Doesn't want to move, doesn't want to stretch, doesn't want to be pliable again. And that's what happens, and we try to run from it. But the thing is the scar, we're carrying that scar. And the scar, like I said, is not the physical scar. The scar is the scar inside of us. The scar of inflexibility in the situation, an unwillingness to bend and stretch and truly heal. So we hold on to the scar and we incorporate that into our point of view. And a lot of times we don't even realize it's happened. And then we view reality from even more blurred a viewpoint because that scar is in the way. So, what do we do about this? Well, the one thing we do is understand not to run from our suffering. There is no external cure that will ever last. The source of healing, the source of everything that you ever needed, is right here, wherever you are, within you, and it always is. Those scars, you've been told you will carry those all your life. This does not have to be true. You simply have to realize that those scars are far better than the alternative. Because when we come through a situation that scars us, and let's use just a really simple example. When I was 10 years old, I rode down a big hill on my way too big, full-size adult 10-speed bike. And there was a sharp corner at the bottom filled with gravel I knew nothing about. I was wearing a pair of shorts on a summer's day. You could imagine what my body looked like by the time they picked all the gravel out and patched me all up. I was covered in scars. And I was told that a lot of those scars would be there forever. But you are not the scar. Those scars were a gift. Because the alternative could have been death. As it was, when I slid across the gravel, I slid between two moving vehicles coming the other direction. The scars were a gentle reminder from creation in comparison to what could have occurred. Think about that. Let that rest within you. Stop running. Stop hiding. Stand there in the face of it all. You have this. That's it. That's all. Namaste to you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.